So hello everyone, it is your girl Gel Beauty 87 here, aka Grace, and today we're gonna get into the Glam shop. So I finally decided to get into the Glam shop or buy something from Glam shop, because if you don't know, my girl Dr. Ash and her makeup has been talking about them since like January, and I'm like, okay girl. Okay, girl. So the palette that intrigued me to get into the brand was, or try to buy something from the brand, was actually this Glam Camo palette. Of course, y'all know it was going to be like the green grungy when they drew me in. But this is what it looks like on the inside. I saw Ashley with this palette. I was like, I'm intrigued. I should try that brand out. But since she said they always have sales, and y'all know I'm always here for a sale, I was waiting for them to have a sale before I bought something. So they recently had a sale when I went on their website and happened to find it. So that's how I ended up buying these palettes. So you saw I had 4. The other one I have is this. This is the one from their latest collection. It's called, well, you see what it's called. It's in Polish because this is a Polish brand. So I'm not sure what the American name of this palette is. But it looks really similar to the palettes that came in the tie-dye collection when, you know, the pandemic first let down a little bit and they started letting ColourPop re-release palettes. This looks like one of those palettes. It looks really similar to the, what is it, the Sailor Moon one. In my personal opinion, at least the original one. If you all remember, I did a video recreating all of my ColourPop palettes. Not all of them, but a good portion of my ColourPop palettes. I think I did like 3 or 4 just because at the time I felt like ColourPop wouldn't really cater to people my skin tone. So I picked and choose out of palettes I had the colors that would fit my skin tone to make it work. I said all that to say mine ain't gonna look the way that it's supposed to look, okay? So it's not gonna have that pop of yellow like this one has and some other things. But it was really similar to that one until I changed it to the way it looks now. It still doesn't work as well for my skin tone, but I find it more aesthetically pleasing, and I feel like that's what should count, since, you know, I have to look at it in my collection. But I like the way this one looks. And the funny thing is, it had the same yellow sequin shade in this palette as it does in this palette, and some of the tones were similar, so I figured I would show you those. I'm trying to do all the comparisons at the beginning of the video, because y'all know I forget at the end of the video. I just like be blessed and turn it off, and then you be like, but you said comparisons. I have not seen one, ma'am. So I'm trying to do it now like my girl Karen Harris does, where I do it at the beginning, so that way I don't, you know, forget to do it. So that's the only comparison I have comparing to this palette, because I don't have a lot of color stories like that, but that was the latest collection they came out with. That was the palette that intrigued me out of all of them. I also feel like that could be really similar to the Chameleon palette from the Wild Obsessions collection that Huda just came out with, but I forgot to bring that because I needed to compare that to the new ColourPop Sonic Bloom palette I just did a review on earlier today. But the next palette we're going to talk about is the I guess we'll get the Glam Camo one out the way, since I already showed you what it looks like on the inside. So I'm gonna show you comparisons of that one. Now I don't have any palettes I feel like that are exact, but I feel like I have color stories that are similar enough to where I could show them both and they'll be fine. So let's start off with this He Who Should Not Be Mentioned and get them out the way. This is an Enchanted Mysteries palette from Linda Hallberg, and this one, as you can see, this would be a good complementary palette to this, to have like extra duochromish pops to go with the matte, since there are no mattes in here. But it's nice color story, and I feel like would pair well with this one. Plus, I just wanted you to see how the tones are somewhat similar. So we got her out the way. Moving on. The next one I have is Smoke Sessions. Y'all know I was gonna bring out all my greenish bluish palettes from Melt, so I got like 3 of them to show you all. There's this one. I don't know why I brought Mary Jane, because technically it doesn't look like it, but I just wanted to put it next to it to see if the grayish green tones in here would be similar to that. But this isn't that close to that one. I feel like with some of the grungier, darker shades, so it could be similar. That's why I went ahead and brought Smoke Sessions, but obviously this half is not going to be similar to it at all. But Smoke Sessions is one of my all-time favorite Melt palettes, and I think it's the first Melt palette I bought that I truly fell in love with. I bought Gemini after I bought that one. I'm glad I bought that one first, else I probably wouldn't have bought Gemini, because I'd have been like, I probably wouldn't have bought that one because Gemini was not that great in my personal opinion. Now here's when my Melt palettes start to change, so it's not going to look the way it's supposed to look. I switched some of the shades around with Gemini because, like I said, I don't like Gemini. But this is my 420 palette against this palette. So here's what it looks like. So let me sit as far back as I can so you can see what the colors look like. This is what they look like compared to each other. Yeah, as you can see, they don't have that many tones comparable, but they have some that are somewhat, because I took it out of Gemini and I was going to bring my broken Gemini over here and it looked crazy, just to show you all that, because it just has a whole bunch of the light shades from other palettes I wasn't necessarily feeling. Again, I'll try to remember to link up above my palettes, my recreated palettes for my dream color story, something like that, to the effect I named it. I forgot. So as you can see, this has a lot of grungy metal tone shades in it. I just wanted to see if it was going to be similar to this shade right here, and I feel like there's not really, but as you can see, I recreated this one as well. And the last one I have to compare it to is the Makeup Revolution. I believe this is the Chilled palette. This is supposed to be their version of in my personal opinion, Smoke Session. So this is what it looks like compared to this one. So the colors in here aren't really that similar to this one right here. If anything, it's more like the browns, not necessarily the greens, because their greens pull a little bit more like tealish green, not, you know, the traditional deep tone green. But since I had it here, I figured I'd show it to you. Why not? So we got all those out the way. Now let's get into the next one I have. And these are the two I'm tied between. I'm going to show the purple one last because it has the most comparisons to it. Since y'all know ColourPop got a whole bunch of purple monochromatic palettes. This other palette was somewhat unique to my collection. It didn't have as many. They have all these little circle pieces that they put inside to protect the shimmery shades, which I appreciate, because since you spend a lot of money on these palettes and they're coming from Poland, you have to pay a lot for shipping, because I believe the shipping was like 21 bucks, but it got here with like in a week or whatever, like it was supposed to. But it was $21, so you want these shimmers to be protected because they are not cheap. It's this weird nipple shape in my eyeshadow, which I'm not necessarily feeling. Sorry when I'm feeling on the floor, but yeah, this color story to me was like somewhat unique. It kind of reminded me of the Futurism 5 palette that they don't make anymore. It's called, what, the Electro Turquoise. So I figured I would show it up against that one to start off with, since when I saw it, that's what it immediately made me think of. So this is what both of them look like. It's always kind of hard to hold it because of the way that the colors palette is made without having like my fingers and stuff in the way. So I'm trying to find a good way to show it. But here we go. So this is what they look like side by side. As you can see, this will be a good complementary palette because they have that bright matte orange, whereas the orange in here is more shimmery, and this is a little bit more of a murkier, deeper tone palette. So these were actually great companion palettes, and I might do a palette matchup with them in the future, but I just want you to see what they look like on their own. And then it made me think of the Saga of Fred palette. The, what is it called? The Cat's Breath, I believe it's called. I'm pretty sure that's the name of that palette. So it made me think of that, and I was like, okay, well, let's show that one as well. So we're almost done with the this part, I swear, but it's just like I have so many palettes, and I feel like a lot of them are really similar or could be companion palettes, so I wanted to make sure I showed all of them at the beginning. So as you can see, this has a somewhat similar color story too. I mean, this is more deeper Laguna-ish green blue, and this is more of like a deeper tealy greenish blue. But again, I feel like they could possibly be good companion palettes because again, it has the orange matte in here to go with the shimmers in here, and then it has some deeper tones in here and a couple of deeper tones in here. So I want to compare both of those. So there you go. There is a comparison of both of those. Now let's get to the last one, which is the purple one. I think this is the one I'm going to use for sure now. Now looking at the other things that I have, just because I feel like I did similar colors with did similar videos today with those, and I don't want to be too repetitive, even though they're not all going up at the same time. But that's not the point. I don't want to risk it. Oh y'all, my stomach is growling so bad. But I didn't eat like dinner yesterday. I just I think I had some chips and like something to drink when I was at work, instead of like ordering lunch like I normally do. So I'll probably take a nap and try to get up in a decent time to like eat before I have to go to work tonight. So this is the last one I have, and this is a all purple palette. So it's like their version of ColourPop monochromatic purple palette. As you can see, it's a nice color story. I want to do a battle of love with both of these and see which one I like better, because y'all know I live for the shade Mr. Sandman. Mine is cracked, unfortunately, but this is their purple palette against ColourPop's original It's My Pleasure purple palette. I'm going to show you the lilac one in a second just to see if some of the lighter tones are similar. But I'm thinking about doing the decluttered on Instagram when I get done doing the eye look, or maybe doing like this one with a different eye look and making this a separate video, and then being able to use one of these palettes now. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. But the next one I have is the Lilac You a Lot palette compared to this one. As you can see, I feel like some of the lighter shades in that one are in this one. But it's hard to tell with the packaging, since this packaging is darker. It might be making that one look lighter than it is. I don't know. But anyway, this is Lilac You a Lot versus the Glam Shop purple palette. And I have a lot of purple palettes, believe it or not. So I'm not comparing them to every single purple palette though. Like I'm not going to pull out the Lilac palette and show you that, and Desert Dusk and all that, because I'm trying to stick to ones that are really monochromatic purple. So there's the Sweet Nothings palette that they made a million years ago. That was a Christmas collection at Ulta when they first got into Ulta and Sephora. And they're still in Ulta, but not in Sephora, obviously. But this seems to be more of a cool tone, lighter version, but I felt like it had some of those darker purples that are in the bottom of this one, so that's why I showed it to you all. So that's what that one looks like. I'm going to take that one back home now. The next one I have is Flight Club from Menagerie, just because this is such a gorgeous palette, and I feel like this would be a good companion palette for this one, because it has some of those bluer purples that this one is lacking, plus it has some of those berry tone purples that you can add in with this, and then it has some lighter ones to dust over when you don't want to use them super chalky pastelish looking shade, because I feel like those are the only two that are in here as far as lighter tones go. So this is a good companion palette for this one. Plus it just looks really nice. So I'm here for it. It's a vibe. Now as far as companion palettes goes, I feel like this is a good companion palette. I have 2 more companion palettes. Then we'll finally get into which palette I'm actually going to use. Y'all, I know it's been a long ride, but honey, when you have as many palettes as I do, I want to make sure I give you all the comparisons I possibly can, because you might already have some of these things, and then I can save you some money, especially since the shipping is quite high. Even though the palettes are reasonably priced, I feel like you have to make up for it with the shipping. So this is the Alien Adobe Jelly palette. If you all remember this video, I feel like this is a great companion palette to this one, because all the dual chromes and shimmers that you want are in here, and then you have a nice little collection of purple mattes. And since I feel like a lot of these shift to purples or greens and purple greens and blues, and y'all know that's the look I love to do, I feel like it was important to show this one with this one. So I just feel like it's a great companion palette overall for that palette, and it is gorgeous, and I cannot wait to try it out with that one. The last one I have is it's freaking Bats palette from Beauty Bean and Shroud. I feel like this will be another great companion palette, because since she has a couple of purplish like shimmers and that cool periwinkle-ish like purple blue matte at the top, I feel like the purples in here will go great if you don't want to use this like kind of really dark plumish eggplantish black purple that she has. You can use some of the lighter or the deeper purples in here that'll pull more purple, and then you can do a blue green purple look and make just a gorgeous look. So this is a great companion palette to me, and I've been really enjoying this palette. I think I've done like 3 or 4 looks with it actually. So I will say it was worth my wait. I didn't think the color story was going to be bad. I think the formula was going to be at the ad. I thought all of it was going to be great. But let me go off camera and get my life in order. So I think we're going to compare this to the Lilac You a Lot in another video, and then I'll just go in with the Laguna palette or the Glam Camo. So I'll be right back. Okay. So I decided to start off with the Battle of the Velour, and then I'm gonna do a look with the Glam Camo palette after this. I don't know what order they actually will be put in though, so this might be the second one, and I just give y'all a look with their products on its own, and then compare it to the ColourPop Eye, which is my pleasure eye last. So yeah. Anyway, I swatched the shades that I'm going to use to save us time. I thought this shade was really cool, so I just wanted to swatch it. It actually looks really similar to a shade in the Beauty Bean It's Freaking Bats palette with Shroud, so I thought that was interesting. But anyway, this is the what is it, Glam Shop shade, and then this is the ColourPop shade that's on my eye now. This is the ColourPop shade that's on my eye now, and one of these two is the ColourPop shade that's on my eye now. I honestly don't remember which one is which when it came to that shimmer, but I tried to have them swatch so you could see what we were going to be working with. Now we're going to get into the Glam Shop Eye, and this is going to be my first time using their shadow, so let's see how this goes. I'm going to take that darkest purple, which the palette is named after apparently. Again, these things are in Polish, so don't ask me like what the names actually are. I don't know. The palette I had on in the intro was actually the Lowest Cosmetics Meet Me in the Underworld palette. I saw my girl Dr. Ash and her makeup's friend Beauty and the Frizz did a video on it, so I was like, first of all, she's really thorough. I really liked her video. I had watched one of her videos before, but that was before I had like found Ashley. I actually found her before I found no, actually I found her after I found Ashley. I think Ashley was talking about the video she had done with the He Who Should Not Be Mentioned Christmas Morning palette. So I was like, okay, I'll watch it. Her look turned out really nice. I really liked her video. I do follow her on Instagram though, just like I follow, of course, Dr. Ash on her makeup, which is the reason we're making this video to begin with, because of Ashley. We're even about this brand. I was like, okay, Ashley girl, okay. We've been talking about it since January. She got like 5 or 6 videos about the brand. So I was like, look here, Ashley. Okay. Because like I said, the Glam Camo palette tempted me, but it's like I had just missed the sale, and she had said I had just missed the sale. So I was like, we're going to wait for the next sale, because I didn't know if y'all were going to want to see a video from this brand on me, but it seems like certain indie brands y'all like to watch from me. Just like just certain brands in general y'all like to watch from me, like Pat McGrath. I noticed y'all been watching the Alien Cosmetics videos. I noticed y'all like to watch the Catrice videos. And there's one other brand. I'm trying to remember what it was. I'm going to just take this clean brush and dust of what we got going on right now. As you can see, this shade is automatically darker than the one in the ColourPop palette, but remember I showed you all the swatches, so you saw that it was lighter. This one is definitely more deeper and vampire, which is more up my alley, so I'm excited about that particular shade. But now we're going to get into this shade right here. This is the one that I swatched that was comparable to the one that's on my lid now. And then we're going to take this shade right here to put in the inner corner. But that purple was actually quite easy to blend out, considering we know how difficult purples are to formulate and to get blended. So I think it did an excellent job. Ooh, I like the shade of this one too. And this shimmer is just sliding on the lid like butter. I'm just like, yes. As you can see, the eyes do not look the same like I thought they were going to, because in the pan this one looks like it's going to work out a little bit better than it does, but on my hand I guess it looks a little bit deeper, but on my eye I feel like it looks way deeper than this one does, and on my hand I feel like it swatched a little bit better. So I don't know what's going on with that, unless I used the wrong shade, which I'm starting to think I did. Y'all, I did. I was supposed to use this satiny shade right here, so it's probably why it's looking like that. So we gonna do a take 2, and I'm gonna put the right shade on to see if it actually matches. Hold on, girl. Okay, y'all, so I went and wiped my eye off real quick, and we're gonna go into that satin shade on the bottom. It actually matches the shade that I was supposed to use when I used the wrong. And then maybe they will actually match, because that other one was just a little too shimmery. I feel like this one matches a little bit better. So I just flipped the brush over, and then that way, you know. Oh great, this one doesn't match either. It just looks like it does in the bed. This one definitely gives me more like plum, if you will, but it is satin like this one. I feel like this is a smoother satin than the ColourPop though. Oh my god, y'all, the battery trying to die every 5 minutes now. Like, oh, this is horrible. Go ahead and fix this. I don't know why my battery keeps draining on my camera. I don't know what's going on with that, but I'm not feeling it. But anyway, let me go off camera again because I need to get a new battery for the camera, and then I will come back and we'll do the inner corner colors, which from what I remember is this one right here. So I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, y'all, so we're gonna get into the shimmery shade I showed y'all in the last clip before the battery decided to need to die. Now those to me look actually really similar. Those are one of the few shades in here that look similar. It's just, it seems to be darker in the crease on this side, and the shimmers seem to be darker. It just seems to be a more darker, vampier version of It's My Pleasure, my personal opinion. So as far as my thoughts on it, it just depends on what you want. Like, I love to do foamy shimmers, and this one, Mr. Sandman here that's broken, is one of my absolute favorites, along with this color Earthshine that we put in the inner corner. So this palette is one of my favorite purple go-to palettes. However, I can see myself getting a lot of use out of this one just because of this super dark, deeper vampire shade, because this one is pretty dark, but you see this one goes even deeper. So I can see me running this across the lower lash line with that with the It's My Pleasure, and I can see me using these in conjunction with each other because some of the shades in here are unique. Like this shade right here that we swatched, as you can see, is gold, but it's got like weird purple undertones to it. So I can see myself using both of these palettes together. If I had to tell you to pick one, I honestly don't know which one I would tell you to pick. I guess it just depends on your preference. If you like a lighter eye look, I feel like this one would be better. If you like a more vampire purple look, I feel like you would like this one better. I like both of them. I'm glad I have both of them. But I feel like the ColourPop one would be more accessible for some people, and it won't cost as much to ship. Because even if you do get this one on sale, the price is going to go back up because you got to get it from Poland. So if you don't mind getting it from Poland and waiting the time, then I say it's fine. Even though I feel like ColourPop makes you wait quite a long time as well. So there's that, and they're here in America with you. So I don't know. But if I had to tell you to pick one, I personally like this one just because it gives me more of a vampire look. But I do still love my ColourPop one and will definitely be using it. But those are my thoughts. Anyway, I'm gonna go off camera now, and then I'm gonna come back with a look with this Glam Camo palette, and then you will have my thoughts on the brand as a whole, because I will have tried one with me, not comparing it to something else, with just the formula by itself. Okay, be right back, girl. Okay. So I've returned. I put a lower lash line color on to save time as I normally do. I have Urban Decay's Electric Empire in the waterline, and I had to use one of the sparkly shades. So I swatched all the sparkly shades and dual chroma shades on my hands so you get an idea what they look like. This is the one that's on my lid. Absolutely stunning. Had to use it. Had to use it. We know I had to use it. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So I took the darkest shade right here. So I basically used these two shades here. This is what's on the lid, and this one are in my inner corner. And then I dusted a little bit this over the top of the shade right here. But anyway, so let's get started with the outer V shade. I will say I was disappointed in the depth of the outer V shade because I feel like it's not deep enough for my personal liking. because I feel like when I blend it, it kind of blends away to nothing, and I didn't like that whole idea of it. So that part disappointed me, but you know, otherwise it's fine. It's just I wanted that to be deeper, and then it wasn't. I'm just like, oh, okay. But we're just taking this brown shade and trying to make it as deep as possible, because I feel like it's not that deep on me. It just looks like a little bit of like ash here, or deeper brown in my skin tone. So that's why I wasn't really feeling or excited about this being my outer V shade. But you know, that's what I got to work with, so we're just gonna work with it. Now I'm gonna take the green shade, and these shadows are really like powdery, like they are really powdery. So just bear that in mind. They're gonna be quite powdery when you go to put them on the lid, and quite powdery to pick up in the pan. Like pickup, it's insane in the pan, but that's what makes them quite pigmented, and I'm assuming easiest to blend out. I'm just a person who hates kick up in the pan, so that's why I'm mentioning it. But I hear most people don't, so it means it should be fine for the average person. I'm just the weirdo who doesn't want to kick up in their pan, but somehow expect the shadows to be magically pigmented. I know. Someone give me the help I need. It's fine. So I did take glitter glue to put these shadows on. From what I remember, I remember Ashley saying that you needed to. So, take my glitter glue now, cut. Cut. And I'm gonna take this amazing flaky shimmery green shade. And when I saw this, it kind of reminded me of those HD flakes that they have from JD Glow right now. I don't think those are on sale. They're having a 40% off sale right now while I'm filming this. I don't know when it's actually supposed to end. I think it's supposed to be 3 days. And today is the 27th, 28th, I want to say. It's 27th or 28th, I forgot. I want to say it's the 28th. So I'm going to try to get some colorful liners from them, because I like to occasionally, if y'all haven't noticed, I start trying to do a random line in my crease occasionally with different colors. So I figure like that'll be good for me. And activated water liners don't work that great for me, so I feel like this would be definitely an easier way for me to do stuff like that and be able to have it work nicely, because I'm not good when it comes to that type of stuff. So practice makes perfect, and I want to get the easiest possible thing to use. So I'm going to take that gold shimmer shade I showed you all and start that off in the inner corner, and then on top of it I went ahead and put the dual chromey brownish shade on the other end and just rubbed it on top, because I felt like that would look cool. As I did. And y'all, I'm so excited. I'm getting almost all my filming done. It's like not even 12 o'clock yet, so I'm excited. So that means I'll be done sooner. I'm just dusting the clean brush underneath here. That's over here. Okay, so let me zoom out and give you my thoughts. Okay, y'all, so, and mind you, my shirt is Camo along with the Camo eyeshadow palette we just used. But I like the mattes. I feel like they're easy to blend. They're pigmented. I like these special little shimmery flaky shades right here. I didn't like the fact that this was more like a Topper S sheer shade, but it was fine because it went over this shade quite nicely. I swatched this shade on my hand too. It's more of one of those satin shades, but their satin shades seem to be really smooth and nice and easy to go on the eye and still give a decent amount of pigmentation. I hate satin shades that are kind of sheer, that don't go over. So overall, I like the palette. I will say I'm disappointed by this dark shade though. Like I said at the beginning, I would have preferred that it was deeper and it helped blend out the outer V better, but I guess there aren't that many black people in Poland, so they didn't know to make it deep enough, because to me this shade is not deep enough in my personal opinion for what I like. I want it to be deeper, and I'd have preferred it, I guess, to be a different tone of green, and I'd have preferred this to be like a little bit of a different tone of green as well. So if I could replace anything, I'd replace these two shades right here, but everything else in here is fine and I really like it. And I can pair this with my 420 palette from Melt, like I probably will, or the Mary Jane palette, and just take that black that I took out of the Gemini and put in my Mary Jane palette and make that work. So I'm liking that I can do that with these, and I'll probably just go ahead and do that. So do I recommend this brand? Definitely. Ashley definitely made a great recommendation on this, which, I mean, I'm not surprised. Ashley makes great recommendations. Remember, she's the one who turned me on to Alien Cosmetics, so when she said and have been talking about the brand since January. I was like, I should probably go ahead and get my hands on it because I like the alien stuff. So I'm assuming I like this too. And I was right. So shout out to my girl, Dr. Ash, and her makeup for putting me on to yet another brand. This wasn't in the 5 brands I'm checking for a video, collab video that I did with Ashley. But I am glad that I found this brand. I did find it through Ashley, so I definitely want to shout her out because she made points with this brand and she was right. So I will do probably some Instagram looks with the other 2 I didn't show you, which you all remember, which is this Laguna one, because y'all know I love these tones. So I'll probably pair this with the High Tide palette from ColourPop to get some more looks, or I might pair it with this Kaleidos palette that I compared it to. As far as this one, I think I'll probably just try to do something on its own, hopefully, and do a like nice warm tonish look and use some of these gorgeous flaky shimmers, because if they're anything like the one that's on my eye, I know they're gonna be that hot fire. But yeah, I'm happy that I tried the Glam Shop, and I look forward to trying more from the Glam Shop. And I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, y'all are diamonds. Let me know which palette you liked better, because I honestly prefer the purple palette better, and I thought I was going to prefer this one better because it's more of the grungy tones. But I don't know, the purple palette just did something and made points for me, so I'm really excited about that one. And I'm excited to try the other 2 that I got, and then maybe I'll have more pleasant experiences with those as well, like I did with the purple one. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye.